all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Bossman show here with Joe Scott of the Air Force Falcons out of the Mountain West Conference. Coach, how are things going with you and your family, man?
Doing good. Just trying to, stay safe, stay healthy, like everyone at this, at this time.
Now, Coach, getting a job in the middle of a pandemic is probably something you never imagined in your life. And I know trying to hire a staff and try to recruit players and, all the things go with getting a new job. But you've been in the Air Force before. But how weird is it if you're trying to handle all these responsibilities when you kind of quarantine to yourself, can't really go out there and touch people, talk to people, see your players? And how's that transition been for you so far, Coach?
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely, obviously, it's definitely different. And it's tough. And the main thing that's tough with is the last one you said there. You can't touch your players. You can't coach your players. You come in to take over a program, and the thing that gets it moving in the right direction a lot, or really makes it have meaning, is being on the court with them, coaching them. They can see it then, they can feel it, they can touch it, they know what you're saying is real. And obviously we can't do that right now. So that's. That is, it hurts, in a grand scheme of things. But like you said, I've been here before. I've been at Air Force before. When I was there, we were very good. We won the Mountain West championship in the regular season, and we went to the tournament. So, I think in talking to our current players and me talking, they know me, they know the history, they know what I'm saying. There's truth to it. You know, it's not like I'm some guy coming in and just saying things. That I was there. We did do it. We were successful. So there's that connection there, which I'm, hopeful that sort of helps this process a little bit during this time.
And coach, what will concern me if it was out here for shoes was the conditioning piece of it, because the guys are probably back home, online classes, can't get into a gym to either with bands or weights or what have you, machinery. So the strength coaches will be very important right now for giving those guys workouts at home to do without dumbbells or weights and that kind of thing. Let's keep them in shape, because you don't want to come back in August, September, and they're not in shape, and you got to get ready to play in November.
Well, there's no question, and again, it's such a different time. I don't know how much, these guys really, and it's across the country, you really have to be a self-starter, and maybe this will be a little, it'll be good for a lot of people in, getting them to become self-starters, because you got to be like that anyhow, and now, like you said, you're at home at school. Are you a self-starter? It's online. Well, you still have school. Are you planning ahead? Are you prepared? Are you developing those good habits? So it's at work and school, and then what you said, it's you can figure out a way to stay in shape. And like you said, the strength coach giving them a body weight workout. Whatever it is, bands, whatever you do. It's still going to come down to, and I like this, I really feel strongly that we don't have enough of this anymore, that the coaches are always telling kids what to do, and I call it like the herd mentality. Everybody go over here and lift weights together. Everybody come out here and do this. Well, no, I don't want the herd mentality. I want the guy that I know is doing it on his own, because the guy who's doing it on his own, I can coach that guy. The guy who's doing it because you're telling him to do it and everybody's doing it, well, I don't know. So I'm hopeful that, for us, in our team, that right off the bat, we're developing a little bit of that. I got to be ready to beat guys out. I hope I'm the one doing these things, staying in shape, and guy got to beat out. Well, he's not. You know what I mean? That's the way it used to be. You know what I mean? I think that could be a positive thing that comes out of this for all the kids playing today. You know what I mean? Like, they have to do it on their own right now. If not the greatest of circumstances, there isn't a gym, you know what I mean? There aren't weights. It's not going to be a nice place to go to, right? You just got to sort of do it on your own and figure it out. And I think that would be great if kids really start zeroing in that way, and it's good for their own sort of self-development.
You got that right, Coach. And last year, I can say about 9 or 10 coaches told me last year that their players, if their players go up and get extra shots. You should have to beg a player to go get extra shots in or run extra sprints. You should have to beg them to want to get better. Like, that blows my mind. Just a bigger guy that want to get extra shots up. Like, you should want to be able to make more shots. You say you want to be a 3-point shooter. Well, take more of them on your own to get better at the shot. Then you can take them in the game. Yeah. You're not making them in practice or in shooter rounds. Why would I let you take them in the game? So, but it's crazy when you have bigger guy to work on their game. That just blows my mind, Coach.
Well, I mean, I think, again, I call it the opposite theory is, if you want to get guys to work on their game, then you got to stop telling them what to do all the time. You got to stop telling them where to be all the time, right? You got to in the way that you go about your business, you got to say, you got to do exactly what you just said. And the ones that do it are the ones who get rewarded. And the ones who don't, they don't get rewarded. They get passed by, and then that's the greatest teacher. You know what I mean? And again, when you're, and we've gotten to that point a little bit, like, we're always telling them what to do. We're always saying to go do this, go do that. Go over here. Come lift. All right, I got an idea. But, hey, listen, you guys got to go work on your own. And then you sit back as a coach and they tell you. That's my philosophy. The players are going to tell me who the players are. I'm not telling the players who the players are. The players are going to tell me by what they do, how they do it, how much they care. And I think when you do it that way, you find out, man, that guy, he loves to play. Look at it. There he is again. I call them light bulbs. I got it from Coach Carrillo's in the Hall of Fame. They're a light bulb. I want light bulbs. Light bulbs are the kinds of guys who, when the coach walks in the gym and he sees that guy over there, the player turns the coach on. Guy's a light bulb. He turns the coach on. Look at that. I can't wait to coach that guy. Look how hard he works. Look at what he does on his own. You know what I mean? Instead of having players who are waiting for the coach to turn them on. And you know what? The guys who are light bulbs, they're the ones who ultimately get to be the best they can be.
You got that right, Coach. And I think since your time in the Mountain West, Coach, how in your mind has the league improved over the years since you battled out in the Mountain West? Because I feel like it's exponentially gotten better. It's a top 8 conference in the country. I just talked to Jeff Linder at Wyoming, who's just took the job there, and he was at Boise State for a long time as well. So let's talk about just how the league as a whole has gotten better over the years since you've been in the league, now coming back into it.
Well, I mean, when I was in the league, actually, it was an 8-team league, and it was an unbelievable league. Utah was in the Mountain West. They're now in the Pac-12, you know what I mean? So BYU, 22,000 people in their place. They were in the Mountain West, so the Mountain West back then was like really, really good. And now I think what's happened, which is a positive for the Mountain West, is, when they went to 11 teams and Utah left and BYU left, they reorganized a little bit, and it took a little while, a couple of years to figure some things out. But now, like you said, over the last 2-3 years, the league's getting back to where, like you said, you got San Diego State, you got Utah State. They've been very good. Nevada, Boise State. I mean, they're teams that are, the league's a very good league. So I think programs are getting better. Teams are rising to that level. And I know that's a focus of the league as a whole, is really rise. All the programs rise to keep this sort of upward trajectory the league's on right now.
Now, Coach, being in the Air Force, how's recruiting different from some schools such as like maybe Georgia, where you was at, public school, Kennesaw State or Georgia Southern? How's the recruiting different from like getting a young man to want to join the Air Force Academy and has to do those military requirements that is required when you go to schools such as Air Force, Navy, or Army, and kind of deal with that piece of the puzzle there?
Well, I mean, what you do is, it's you just got to find the right guys. First, it's always about, the basketball piece in terms of the running, the dribbling, the passing, the shooting, the running, the jumping, those things. You make those determinations, and then ultimately, it comes down to, finding the kid who has that, who understands education is unbelievably important because the education at the academy is, it's Ivy League level. So, you're going to get that type of kid who values that kind of education, who wants to be as good as he can be, and then knows really that the 4 years in college isn't really about the 4 years. We know it's about the 4 years and how good can you get in that experience, but it's really about the next 50 years. You're going to live another 50, and some 60. How good do you want those years to be? You know what I mean? When you graduate from the academy, you play basketball, you have that degree. You know what? You got a job when you come out, right? When you're 30 and what do you want to do? You're going to be able to do what you want to do because you have that degree, and you got to be forward thinking. You got to be a kid can look ahead that way and know that your college decision isn't about just those 4 years. It's about the rest of your life. And what we try to do is find those kids, and they're out there, and coach them the way we do, and you develop them the way we're going to do it. You got a chance to be good.
And, I think, Coach, is the main thing. I feel like 18 and 22-year-old young men, this is their formative years to be into becoming a man or setting their themselves up for the rest of their lives. So how do you still go about people development as far as them becoming young men, great husbands and fathers down the road and going forward, and being great pillars of their community as they get older and more farther along in their lives?
Well, I think again that's that's the definition of the Air Force Academy. You know what I mean? What they do every day, what we do every day, is all about developing those character traits that translate into exactly what you just said. That translate into you being responsible, that translate, into you being mature, responsible, knowing it's about other people, knowing it's about, the academy's about service before self. It's about other people. It's about being a leader. It's about giving. The more you give, the more you get. You know, we all know that. It's a proverb. Everybody knows it's true. I know the trick is to do it. The trick is to live it. And that's what we do. We live it. And, you know, so again, that's the, you know, the ultimate value of the Air Force Academy is, you know what? That's what we're producing. That's what those 22 and 23-year-old, you know, men and women who are graduating, that's what they are. And, you know, that's why I went back to be the coach. It's a special place and with special people. And obviously you always know that the people make the place. So I'm really excited to be back there for the reasons, you know, that you bring up.
And, Coach, non-conference scheduling-wise, in the Mountain West, it's a little different than it is in the Sun Belt or the SEC or just conferences right around here in Georgia. So how you go about scheduling those games for your team? Would you kind of try to play a non-exempt tournament here or there, or do some two-for-ones, get guys to come play you at your place, or go on the road, or take your guys to see different teams with a high-level competition? So how you plan on going non-conference-wise? That's probably the second hardest thing you can do outside of recruiting, just kind of schedule these games for your team non-conference.
Yeah, no doubt. Scheduling is really, really important when you're in a league like the Mountain West. You know, scheduling non-conference is very important because, you know, if you're a good team and you're good in that league and you schedule right non-conference, you know, you're putting yourself where you want to be in, you know, in March, you know, and you're putting yourself in that conversation. So, like you said, going into the right exempt events, you know, you got to have the right scheduling philosophy for who you are and where you are. And, you know, I think, again, one of the advantages of Air Force is, you know, can we get some teams that come out and play us? Like you said, that would be good non-conference games. You go to the exempt event tournaments and make sure it's the right ones. And then can you cherry pick and are you successful in getting, you know, like a good home and home? You go on the road and you go to a good, you know, just back there, you know, you go play at Georgia Tech. You know, I mean, Air Force plays Georgia Tech. Can that be a home and home? You know, and then like you're saying, you're going to a good place with a good game. They come back to you the next year, and those are all the things that go into it because, like you said, you know, it's recruiting, it's scheduling, and then you get to, you know, the coaching part. But scheduling is extremely important.
That's one I got for you, Coach. How's your time here in Georgia as assistant up in Athens with Coach Crane up there, man? They got a great player, Anthony Edwards, who may be a future Atlanta Hawk. We never know about that because my main job is covering the Hawks. That's my main job is covering the Hawks. So I'm very keen with those guys. But how's your time here? How's you enjoy the state of Georgia and being around, meeting the coaches around the state here, high school coaches, but with these guys out here and enjoying just being this nice Georgia state, the Peach State here?
Yeah, I mean, I said, you know, that my time there, you know, I'm unbelievably fortunate. You know, we're fortunate. We're extremely grateful to be getting this, you know, opportunity again at Air Force. And like I've said, it would not have been possible without the last 2 years. It wouldn't have been possible without being at Georgia, being at an institution like Georgia. You know, it's a prestigious institution across the board. To be with, again, the right people there has made a world of difference and was a big part of me being able to get this opportunity. So, like you mentioned, there's the players there. I think the program's in a good spot, and I really think, you know, Anthony's going. I hope things turn out well for him, like you said. You know, overall, it was an unbelievable experience, and I think you're going to see the program take a jump, and I'm going to be really looking forward to continuing to follow, you know, Georgia and follow the guys on the team and see their progress. And like you said, also, just so you know, get it, spread it out there. I mean, we're going to recruit Georgia. I know for a fact, you know, the Air Force, a lot of football players and a lot of through time at Air Force, a lot of guys, they've had success in Georgia. And, you know, with my time there the last 2 years and the contacts that I've made, I mean, I want to make sure that we're getting into Georgia and, you know, finding a couple players, you know, to help us, because we all know It's a great basketball state, a lot of good players, and like I just said, a lot of good people in Georgia. So I'm going to make sure to, to maintain that connection.
And we'll do our part here, help you out, Coach. Our show reaches from Chattanooga down to Macon with our reach with our station here. So we'll definitely try to help you in that regard, too, getting you on the show and letting, hear you on the show, talk about the Air Force Academy, because that's a great school. And my dad was a military man, fought in Vietnam War.
Go.
So I was in the military a lot. And the VA helped me with schools. I was 27 years old. So I respect the military and what it's all about. Go. So I can speak to it as well as a military kid.
Let's stay connected.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay connected and let's make sure we do it.
Yes, indeed, Coach.
It would be great.
Anytime, Coach. Thank you for your time today, Coach. Stay safe out there. Talk to you real soon, buddy.
All right. Appreciate you having me on.
Anytime.
Stay safe.
Yes, sir. That's Joe Scott here on the Bossman Show.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.